You want to go out there and throw rocks, throw bricks, throw fucking lead at 2,700 feet per second.
Well, basically an anonymous collective of activists, hacktivists started back, 4chan, and it grew into much more than that. Wanted to go to an anonymous protest demonstration. I hit up the people I knew. There was nothing going on. Created the event on Facebook on I think it was April 23rd or something. And then by November 5th, 2013, we had over, I think it was 450-something simultaneous protests in over 130 different countries.
First Million Mass March took place on November 5th in 2013 and was organized by John Anthony Fairhurst of the Million Mass Movement.
Following Anonymous online for a little while, and that was right before 2013 Million Mass March, and then there's a lot of videos and stuff like that of a lot of like-minded people planning to meet at this one location. And when you start doing this awakening process or whatever, I know basically like a calling that something's wrong and we need to do something about it. So me and my girlfriend, we went to DC not knowing a single other person offline or anything else like that, and when we got down there it was fucking real quick. 3,000 people I think the first year, and that was my first ever boots on the ground protest activist type thing, and it was on ever since then.
I went there simply for the fact that it was a time to wake up minds, to educate people what was really going on. You're fed mainstream ideas, and there's really actually a deeper core to everything. So my goal that year was going there and showing people to not be scared, to be awake, to express your opinion, and just get out there.
In the White House, a bunch of clowns in there. They don't have no common sense. They're the ones that need to accomplish things. We're here to tell them what they're doing is not right.
They're against a corrupt government, and they're tired of taking it, and they're not going to take it anymore. The one word I hear in every city I go into is traitor, traitor, traitor. And if you know anything about warfare, a traitor is actually hated more than the enemy.
Yes, absolutely. Every year it became more and more. It became more of a drill. It became more of them kind of showing their numbers, showing that, okay, we're getting more and more involved. We're getting more organized. We know what you guys are coming with, and we're coming here stronger, a lot more heat, and we're trying to intimidate you.
Oh, hey, 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 hey! Why'd you pull us back up?
Don't fucking touch me. You're touching me. Back up.
What did he do? What did he do? What did he do?
Back up. Back up. Go ahead. Tase me. Go ahead. Tase me. You gonna arrest me for touching me? Back up. Tase me. I'm not scared. Bring it. Back up.
You fucking tase me?
Watch out. Watch out. Walking down the fucking door.
You gonna push me, huh?
What the hell are you arresting this man for?
Got me, you fucking pig!
That's a assault, you piece of shit! You know what I'm saying? Assault! That's a
No, the first year we were really calm, but we were definitely fucking known. The police definitely weren't ready for us at all, because once we hit the streets and we started going, they were more trying to follow us and figure out what we were doing and where we were going, and we had no agenda, no plan. We were just taking over the city and shutting it down for the day.
JFK said, those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. Don't you forget it.
We showed our solidarity that year. We showed that it doesn't matter what you say, what's going on. We're here, we're letting you know that we're here, and we want a difference, and we want to change.
You're a coward! You're a coward! How dare you touch him like that? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
We want you people up there that are getting paid, lining your pockets, from all of us busting our ass to do your job.
2016, they knew we were coming. It's November 5th every year, so it's not like, it's some hidden secret date, it's the same every year. They know we're coming, so. But 2016, obviously, they were more ready for us. There was obviously, again, more preparation. They were more riot gear styled and things like that, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna keep doing our thing and taking over the streets and stuff like that. All they can do is try and contain us and move us around the city, but we're gonna do that shit anyway, so as long as we try and minimize the arrests and minimize the public damage, because our issue isn't as far as damaging public property and stuff like that. It's, even government property, it's hard, because if we destroy those buildings, these are the same things that we're gonna have to rebuild once this system that doesn't work is removed.
For example, there were certain people that were kind of going a little bit extreme and, going as far as lighting things on fire and spray painting different logos and letting people know to just kind of wake up, and getting really a lot of people involved on the streets that year.
We rushed, not me personally, but other people rushed in, wanted to damage the lobby and stuff like that. When labels, Trump a racist or whatever else like that against the Spanish people and stuff like that. I would have rather went occupied the lobby, and then we all order Spanish food and shit like that because of the big fuck you to Trump.
I was kind of expecting that. Sometimes it's good to be late, because I'm telling you that I would have acted a fool in that Trump building. I probably would have gotten arrested.
Then I don't know why I figured it out, but I decided to undo the flagpole, and I pulled the American flag down, and I flipped it upside down and raised it at the headquarters. It was up there for maybe a minute or two, and then another guy that I had known in the crowd came over and gave me an A.N.O.N flag, brought the American flag down, flew the A.N.O.N flag up with it. And I'm pretty sure after that, Monsanto moved out of DC at that point. It was just more or less just more of a representation. We're here. They definitely recognized we were there after that point, because significantly after that year, security started getting bumped up, and certain buildings were blocked off with barricades and stuff afterwards. So, the system itself obviously realized that the message was getting out there, and more people were growing pissed off and tired of the way things are.
Something felt different. Something felt different with this march. So I remember seeing officers, like, they were in full military gear before the march even started. By the time we got back to the Washington Monument, the crowd had swelled. I mean, now it's hundreds and hundreds. I mean, when I arrived, there was probably maybe less than 50 people. And then when we made our circle, that's when we grew significantly.
2016 was definitely fun, you know, because I like when shit goes a little crazy. I like to see shit shaken up. There are things that are so wrong that nobody's doing anything about, and so you can see that vibe in 2016 in DC had like that undercurrent to it. You know what I mean? Of high levels of frustration, and I had been talking to people leading up to it, so I was kind of expecting that.
People are tired. People are tired. People are frustrated with the way things are going, the status quo. With President Trump on his way into office, there was just a general feeling that things were going south.
We're here because we're fucking sick and tired of how we live it. We're sick and tired of fucking being jailed and put in solitary confinement. We're sick and fucking tired of being oppressed. We're sick and fucking tired of working endless hours for no fucking wages and not having no quality time with the things that we want to do and the people we want to be with. That's not a life. And we keep this shit up, we're not gonna have a fucking planet by like 2060, 2070. There's not gonna be any fucking body to oppress because the fucking air you breathe is gonna be not fit for humans. The fucking soil, the fucking water, it's all going to shit. And y'all protect that system. Y'all protect that system. We're trying to say protect our land, protect the shit that you and us need to survive. Clean water, clean air, clean fucking food.
As we continued to march, there were people picking up bricks, picking up rocks, just gathering things for civil disobedience. So I wouldn't call it a riot, but people that were there were really trying to push the envelope.
I gotta say, fuck the government. That's about it.
Spray paint, creating barricades in the streets, throwing newspaper stands down, going into Trump Towers and rearranging the furniture. I remember a buddy of ours, Tristan Roberts, goes up and he starts twerking on a police car, and I could just see that they were all pissed off from that. I remember seeing the crowd come up, police officers swinging batons at Anonymous, with no discrimination, just swinging at everyone and everything.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Stay back, stay back for your own safety, stay back. For your own safety, stay back. Stay back. Back there! Back there! Back there!
The event got crazy, the march at that point. It felt like it was an all-out brawl. I mean, they were trying to grab A.N.O.Ns and arrest them. With a crowd as large as we were, we feel like we were being treated unjustly. Some of the A.N.O.Ns were de-arresting. They were, yanking A.N.O.Ns by their legs, trying to get them away from the officers, almost like we were trying to avoid a kidnapping. So,
cops arrested a couple people. I snagged the fucking billy club out of the cop's hand because he's trying to get all fucking crazy.
Yeah, what about that girl that they were batoning on?
Yeah, I was behind her. I didn't exactly see what happened that caused that shit, but I'm pretty sure it was the same thing. Just wrong place at the wrong time. She got hit pretty hard, and a couple other females as well. So they baton happy today. I'm just waiting for the rubber bullets to come out next. That's just the natural progression it seems tonight.
It started with a friend of mine named Danny. Danny was down on the ground. I couldn't really tell because there were so many officers swarmed in that area. It's hard to see. Some were trying to de-escalate, trying to tell the rest of us to relax, to stop. This isn't right. Others were ready for war.
We can't have this happen here. There's a time and place for everything, you know what I mean? Getting locked up over here, you're gonna be here till Monday at least, and then you're gonna have to keep coming back for these punk-ass court dates. So I was glad to see he was safe and shit. Myself too, almost gotten a few altercations, just being too close. That's it, they paranoid as hell. These motherfuckers are scared.
They were going in, vandalizing the tower. The A.N.O.Ns were outside the building, picking up signs, throwing them, stomping on them, trying to break windows, throwing traffic cones. On the inside of the building where I was, there was a lot of the couches that were being picked up, tossed. Security was trying to push the entire crowd of A.N.O.Ns back into outside of the building, back into the street.
Having a good time, you know what I mean? The cops trying to fuck with us, but we're fucking with them back. One of the dudes should have been there for the Trump. They were wanting the Trump, fucked shit up, destroyed shit, you know what I mean? Took their furniture, threw it across the fucking room.
It's too many of us, so a couple almost physical confrontations between Trump security and the A.N.O.Ns inside the building, but all in all, it was just sending a message.
Don't do that! Hey, stop! Come on! Come on! We just took the trunk. Get out! Wake up, everybody! Go! 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 Get out! Come on! Out! Sir, get out! This is private property. This is private property. Go! Come on! Private property! What about the fucking natives? We got private property? Back up! Get it back!
As the intensity grew, another A.N.O.N, after they arrested Danny, Tristan Roberts, same one that was twerking on the police car, gets thrown down. And all I seen was him ride towards the crowd, and then all of a sudden he's down on the ground with several officers on him. So the intensity kept picking up from there. Full-on riot shields. We had a standoff for a while at the Capitol building, where the riot officers and riot shields stood there face to face, locked in with us. They weren't letting us advance into the building. That's never going to happen. Before, they had fences in the past that were torn down by A.N.O.Ns, and this time they had the fence along with rows of officers with shields, supported by them by Homeland Security.
We are not divided! We will never be divided! We are the people of America, of the fucking universe! Yeah, and we know
and your people are just following orders. Shooting them with rubber bullets, invading prayer circles. Prayer circles with stuff like this.
They were ready. They were ready. So that pretty much put the end to that march.
You got half the crowd trying to decide whether to confront the police, and the other half over here. It happens every year where there's like a schism between us as far as what direction we want to take. So we're at like a stalemate right now. We're just kind of figuring out what to do.
What's the next move?
From here, we usually take it right back, similar route. We already got Monsanto. I didn't see us get the DEP yet, so it's probably next.
How long you be out here?
I don't know. It's unpredictable, man. Like the whole time we've been marching, we've gotten caught up in different battles that just keep breaking out between police and ourselves. They just locked somebody else up over here, just standing nearby.
Yo, what do you think of the police presence out here, man?
Well, it's expected. You're in the nation's capital, so we got important people to protect and important property as well. But this is definitely more intense than I've seen. Even back in 2014, when the police presence was heavy, it's definitely ramped up here. They got shields, they got spray, they got tasers, they got it all. It's the first time I actually seen anonymous members getting beat by police. So that footage will come out. You'll see it. You'll see it. Motherfuckers gotta organize. It's time to get together. You can see out here that people are tired of this shit. So the intensity has been ramping up each year. So what these motherfuckers gotta do is be active for the rest of the year too, not just November 5th. I get it. It's easy, the mob mentality, but the real heart shows when it's just you.
Our government has lied to us. We all knew that the Saudi government was responsible for 9/11 terrorist attacks. They sponsored the terrorist attacks. And yet President Obama up there went and tried to prevent the families from suing the Saudi government, in which Congress vetoed that. Look it up, that's not a conspiracy. And you got soldiers out there in Afghanistan that are dying because of that shit. Fuck the government!
So far in the shithole that we cannot fix it if we try. And if we did try, by that time global warming would have this fucking place like this. So it's time to wake up, Jay.
You won't stop the revolution! We're here at the people's house. The people are not allowed in the people's house. For lobbyists only. This is the house of Monsanto.
That's what I'm saying, like, marching in the streets, that's what the Million Mass March is. You know, shutting it down, raising awareness, but raising awareness isn't going to change shit. It's not going to change anything. Nobody cares. So.
You said some people here are ready, but you say like most of them aren't. Ready for what? What would real sort of
for the next step? In the words of Malcolm X, any revolution, every single revolution, successful revolution, has been won by bloodshed. So unless people are ready to friggin' take that next step, or like actually physically do something, nothing's ever gonna change. Get ready, lock and load. That's what the Second Amendment's for.
I hate going into DC. It's a crazy city, and it's just so, it's the epitome of what is disgusting to me in this country, so I just really would rather avoid it. The next year we decided that we would not go to DC, and move to Philly.
From DC, you know, to our younger years, and now we're here in Philly, showing it in our city and letting people know, like, hey, everybody stand together. Let's come out for this cause. And we stopped at a lot of good central places that we really need to kind of show our presence at, and the energy was great.
The momentum is growing in the movement, but where we're most concentrated at is in the Philadelphia, South Jersey area. So setting up the march in Philadelphia 2017 was instrumental in getting those A.N.O.Ns that may not have had transportation to get to DC, or some that were on the fence of going to something as intense as DC, that maybe they would try out Philadelphia. So come up to Thomas Paine Plaza, and there are rows and rows of white shirt officers. So those are the commanders in the Philadelphia unit. They were all organizing. I don't know what is discussed between themselves, but like to be a fly on the wall in one of those conversations just to see what their mindset is towards Anonymous. But yeah, rows and rows of them lined up. Above us was a helicopter dedicated to us that followed us the entire march. We were also being filmed by the Civil Affairs Unit. So the Civil Affairs Unit, they wear these red bands around their arms. That's their Civil Affairs, and they're usually dressed in blue or black suits. They were filming us the entire time, and they were the main point of contact for the rest of the law enforcement officials. So they're usually the ones that are coming up, taking names, asking questions. Questions like, why are we here? Who are we? Where are we going? They'll also try to set their roles to us, which we usually laugh at. It's just like, you know, we're here to express ourselves. We're here to exercise our rights.
But the whole tactical craziness, you know, and coming around the, you know, corner, and like there's literally 25 bike cops and you're already surrounded by nothing but like crazy lights and like it's nuts. Just a handful of people, you know what I mean? Fed up and pissed off with the system, which we have every right to be. It's ridiculous.
hi. Riding right with us. She gonna join Anonymous next.
Out there, the police choppers, they also had LRADs. Counterterrorism was out there. Homeland Security was out there. Riot police, everything you could think of, every type of law enforcement official that you could think of was there. So we came out there with the intent that we're going to make this a peaceful march with some direct action and civil disobedience mixed in.
We take this motherfucker over. This is our motherfucker.
I don't trust the government. I don't trust these cops. I think they're too heated, too testosterone laden. I don't know what you're thinking. I think they watch too much fucking TV. You're just ridiculous, and you know, we're just trying to feed people. So I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know why the helicopters had to come in.
For a total of 50 participants, they had about 300 officers. There was about 2-3 dozen cop cars. There was about 3 dozen bicycle cops. There was a helicopter for about 7 hours straight that were over us. I forget the numbers that I was told that helicopter cost just to keep up in the air. They rolled out the bear, meaning they brought the bear by us just to let know the presence. The LRAD they brought by us just to let us know they had it. That was the red carpet. It was to intimidate us and put us in our place where we better not get out of line. When it was nothing more than peaceful demonstrations. I mean, the biggest part of Anonymous, especially in this area, we help out those in need. That's mainly what we do.
Incarcerated, and I'm talking to you cops right now. Dude, you're gonna tell me 25% of the world's population in prison is the American people that much more savage than any other place in the world? War on drugs, man, war on drugs. It's a war on people, specifically people of color.
It was definitely exaggerated with the ACP. I mean, come on now. The armored vehicle, the helicopter, it was just like way too much. And I get it, there are some people that wanted to physically express their concerns against their monuments and whatnot, but we still have order, we still have respect for, you know, the community and whatnot, and there's history behind it. So we didn't do what they expected us to do.
For 17 was the biggest year. We were turning out numbers of 60, 70, 80 people with us, and we had an entire escort of about 50 police bikers, a bunch of squad cars, helicopters, everything following us, which was unworthy.
That march was unique in Philadelphia because of the police presence. So there was maybe 50, 60 of us, but there were hundreds and hundreds of officers, which made our presence that much more magnified and got our message out a bit more.
Use that voice. All these people watching, all these people videotaping.
There was no need for it. When you have literally 40, 50 bikes behind us with a bunch of squad cars behind that, armored patrol car, you did not need all that. You should have been out there on the streets doing the real job.
It's unusual circumstance to shoot a video while there's riot police out there, while there's LRADs, while there's civil affairs, while there's white shirt officers and a helicopter over top of our video shoot. They came out, did their thing, you know, and they did it to help us put out our message. They put together a very conscious, very powerful track that lets the world know that it's serious, that martial law is on the horizon, and you got to be prepared for it. So.
Well, powerful people like pride cannot be taken away. It breaks my heart to hear these stories of these young Freddie Gray. I think about Sandra Bland when I go for a drive on 95 and my 9 to 5 and got the nerve to not the signal when I'm switching lanes. They want to shoot us like some dogs in any streets. They want to break us because they know that we are walking kings and queens.
We were letting the movement know as well that this is what we are intending to do, and some people it didn't go over so well with. They felt like that we were dividing the movement or weakening the movement by taking people away from DC and then having them in Philadelphia. But I disagree with that. Philadelphia has its own history. The Liberty Bell is obviously the first thing that people think of when they think of American history for Philadelphia. We also did the Constitution Center. We stopped at the Federal Reserve.
And then what did they do right after the Great Depression? In 1933, y'all motherfucking stole our gold. You think Anonymous is strong? Go look in Gaza. Anonymous mask all out there fighting against motherfucking tanks. We're here with bike cops that we're not even going against, you know what I mean?
The economy is collapsing. But luckily we have fucking Bitcoin, and that's what they're fucking most scared of. We're taking back the currency, and then we're taking back our country. So fuck the Fed, end it to the day.
And the Fed! And the Fed!
You have any insight into the Federal Reserve here, or you just work at the lowest level?
After she's a private organization.
We stopped at the Church of Scientology. The Church of Scientology has its own history. The anonymous movement going back to 2008 with Op-Chanology, when there was all those hacking of the Church of Scientology websites during that time. That was also around the time that Philadelphia had its first presence of A.N.O.Ns.
The president that we have in office, and by the way, fuck all presidents, Obama, fuck Bush, fuck Nixon, fuck them all. Puppets. They're all puppets.
One of the reasons why the Million Mass March in Philadelphia 2018 was unique was that we had Steve Grant in attendance. Now, Steve Grant was one of the ones that pioneered the marches in Washington, D.C., and the year prior he was in London. And there was debate about, where he would go the next year. And as a performing artist that is able to attract large crowds, having someone like that at your march is an advantage. And I was touched when a lot of A.N.O.Ns kept saying Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Philadelphia. I kind of knew that that's probably where he would end up, but when he committed to it, it was like, okay, now we could build something around his arrival here.
Yeah, shout out to all the technicians, Anonymous Legion. Ow, ow, ow.
Yo, what up, world? Steve Grant, this bitch. What up, fam? Cheer.
But yo, we need to get our fucking shit together. And when I say shit, I mean our hearts. I mean our hearts. Social media is social media. Who gives a fuck? We could all die right now. That's just gonna still be floating around. Guys, we're going into 2019, 20, whatever the fuck it is. You need to, yes, I'm saying, y'all, even including the ones, myself, Weltch, Jen, who's a beast, putting in the work, all of you that have contributed and grinding hard as fuck, guess what? More. We need a stronger wave. Quality. This is why we're here right now.
For Philadelphia. So Steve has been in Philly before. He's performed out here before, but never at a Million Mass March. So the first intent was, to get him on the microphone to perform at least one song. The Never Forget track was just perfect that he performed that there, because that was an emotional march. We had lost so many people leading up to that march. The A.N.O.Ns that we did lose were very passionate A.N.O.Ns. They were committed to the movement.
It's only a matter of time before one of us in this crowd is up here being remembered. All right, we gotta cut the bullshit. All the infighting's gotta stop. Now, what I've seen over the last year, particularly with our Philly crew, we've been pretty consistent with remaining as a family. But there have been infiltrators that have been trying to disrupt what we do. We need to get past all that. We need to get past all the left versus right. As you can see in Anonymous, you have some people that support Trump right now. All right? And that's causing a major division within our movement. That is exactly what the powers that be want to happen. All right? Whether it's left versus right, black versus white, Christian versus Muslim, we gotta cut the bullshit. All right, we've lost maybe what? How many people? Anybody know?
Too many.
Too many. There you go. So I've heard up to 30 names.
They had been there since the beginning. As Anonymous was growing, as it was small, as it wasn't, a popular thing to get involved in, they were there. They were helping to lay the bricks the foundation of the movement, and for us to lose them going up to the march, it felt like that we owed some sort of servitude towards them. We owed them a memorial, a dedication, so we were very successful in making it impactful for those that were there and in attendance.
The day that I found out that she died, and Anthony told me the reasons, yo, I literally fucking broke down crying. Even Steve Grant was fucking surprised about what happened with Liv Chase. Even before that, Sarah Elizabeth. I'm sorry, bro.
Nah, do your thing, man. We all feeling that shit. We felt like we did the movement justice by the way we structured the 2018 Million Mass March. And that's where I think a lot of the problems in the movement come from, is that there's no structure. You'll let the world know that we are the place to be.
We deep as a motherfucker this year, boy. We got Massachusetts in this bitch. We got New York in this bitch.
Yeah, you got Mass, New York, Connecticut.
What else we got? We got Florida, Carolina, we got Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware.
Miami A.N.O.N's in this bitch.
Miami A.N.O.N's, man.
So we're looking at how we can do it again, bigger, badder, better, like we did last year, and we have a good idea of how we're gonna make that happen. So we are a beacon of hope for the anonymous movement.
Let's take care of our own homes. Let's learn to grow our own food. Let's learn to grow and create our own electricity. Let's go and become self-sufficient. The revolution starts at your own homes. In your own homes, in your house. When the electrical grid is off, and that is a very realistic possibility in the near future, we will have lawlessness. Our mask will go from a non-mask to purge mask when we're outside trying to defend our own communities.
We're growing in the region, and we continue to be active year-round.
Leaders, but we shouldn't be discouraged from letting people show their leadership qualities, all right? We should be known as a leader-full movement instead of a leaderless movement. Every single person has the opportunity to kind of put this thing in motion, and we get behind it. I am not the leader of this movement. What you will find is core members of our crew here in Philly put things together year-round, and we all get behind one another.
I always say that here in Philadelphia that there is always an A.N.O.N presence, even if it's just one of us there, that we are always at every single event, every single community gathering, every single direct action. There is at least one of us in the crowd.
Whether you're the guy next to me on the street, whether you're the cop, whether you're the freaking government, if you're no good, you're no good.
Alright, don't watch CNN. Get alternate media sources. Get alternate news sources. I mean, look for your own information. Decide your own. Make your own decisions. Don't let people sit there with conjecture and talk to you and try to talk you into things that aren't true.
Are you in fear of any retaliation? Like you're putting yourself out there, obviously, with this documentary. So
no, because they'll never know it's me. They'll never know it's me.
And that's what the fuck we gotta stand for. We gotta stand for us, sovereign individuals, taking back our rights, given to us into a constitution by our forefathers who were simple people with an education who said, we can do this better than the anointed ones. You know what I mean? Let's get back to what we got. Let's take this bitch back.
We noticed that like Facebook censorship, algorithms on Google controlling what we can and can't see, tampering with elections. This is how the mind control works. When they take away our free speech, you start to see that the people controlling what we can and can't say also are poking into our private lives and watching everything we're doing.
In 2020, the march returned to DC for the election year.
It's November 5th. You know what that means? Million Mask March. It is time to fight this broken system.
A.N.O.Ns during this march made a number of national TV outlets as the media was confused that A.N.O.Ns were actually Antifa.
We're not Antifa! We're not Antifa! You fucking assholes! Stop reporting the lies! Stop reporting lies! You lie! You lie! You lie! You fucking fucking wrong!
A.N.O.N ended up getting into a confrontation during that march with right-wingers at the Republican National Convention, requiring a large police presence to separate both parties.
Whatever your fearless leader tells you to do.
Well, if he's starting here, it's starting with me. I came up to film.
When you first walked up, you sized him up. So come on.
Nah, I was filming,
No. It was on video. You were sizing him up.
Oh, get out of here.
You were saying his height, his weight. I sat there and heard you.
In 2021, the march returned to Philadelphia as a reunion and charity event, giving food and clothing to the homeless. In 2022, the march is set forth to return to Washington, D.C.
I'm a long-standing Anonymous member from Anonymous UK. God bless UK Anonymous! Geriatric motherfuckers out here. If you Google Cody Anderson biking for charity, I'll come up. I just did 24,901 miles, 4 years on the road to save your life and everybody else's. And if the media actually did their job, I'd have about $10 million raised by now. But 10 major media outlets I protested are all in violation of the journalism code of ethics.
This was my little sister. What are you talking about?
As we turn the page to another chapter, there's a new group of A.N.O.Ns on their way in, taking over the movement, who will likely take it to places and positions that we haven't been able to.
J20, Trump's inauguration. And people were like, oh, you're anti-Trump. Nah, it doesn't matter who the fuck won that motherfucking election. That shit would have happened, okay? But the thing is this. Like, what are you doing? What are you really doing? You want to go out there and throw rocks? Throw bricks? Throw fucking lead at 2,700 feet per second. And those of you that know what the fuck I'm talking about, know what the fuck I'm talking about. Stop. Don't be a pussy your whole fucking life. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is the motherfucking end game. They are making their final fucking chess move. Fuck around and find out. Because you're about to find out. And if you don't stand the fuck up, you already did.
January 20th, in case if we want to commemorate that day, where a lot of us that were masked were arrested in DC. What was it, 250 people that were arrested for wearing masks? They're coming down on us. It doesn't matter if they think you're Antifa or not, all right? Whether you are or not, they're coming at anything they describe as the left. All right, we don't give a fuck about the whole politics bullshit, but when it comes to mainstream media, they're gonna call us the far left, all right? These laws that are put into place are not for the far right. They're not for the nationalists. All right, the extremists, the racists on that side. They're for us that are fighting against and raging against the system. They are going to try to take our rights away.
People are just really tribal to begin with, so they don't want their team to lose, and they want, no matter what their team does, they got to stick by them no matter what. And both sides refuse to admit that this whole thing is fucked up. Both sides are not elevating at all. The middle class is almost gone at this point. And, you know, there's such a division, and they'd rather keep this a left-right issue rather than this whole thing is the issue. So the division is to keep people apart and to keep this, you know, struggling system dying as long and slow as it can.
You want to know why I won't ever vote?
Why is that?
It's because I don't believe in the way the government's run. Okay? You want a real government? Take the money out of politics. If you continue to allow the corporations to buy all the votes to sit there and make all the rules, because that's what's happening. Corporations are going to pay a politician off in order to sit there and get what they want done, not what we want done.
Well, the presidency, well, that's a topic for me that kind of really doesn't sit well because it doesn't matter who's in place. So there's always somebody that's controlling a higher power.
My mentality for, you know, moving forward with, there is no us against them. I don't talk about right wing. I don't talk about, you know, I will make fun of Trump whenever I feel like it and fuck Trump. But we're not going to discuss his politics. There's no such thing as Trump's politics. It's a figment of your imagination.
There's people in this world that should not be in front of any kind of media source or shouldn't be operating heavy machinery. This is a person that should not be running an entire country. He doesn't carry himself as a president. He doesn't do it with style or grace. He doesn't communicate with his first lady, which is supposed to be his queen.
I read something today about an anonymous announcing war on Donald Trump, and I can see why.
Donald Trump, think twice before you speak anything. You have been warned, Mr. Donald Trump. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. Expect us.
Well, it seems Anonymous made good on its threat. The website for Trump Towers, TrumpTowerNewYork.com, was experiencing an outage today. An Anonymous affiliated Twitter handle claimed responsibility for disrupting the site.
I've never had a problem with any Antifa. They've never shown us the... Sometimes you can tell when people have been listening to the bullshit, because when you'll see each other, they get nervous and they're like, you can see a little, keep them one eye. Like literally that march that we went to a few months back.
Refuse fascism.
Right, they were like, Antifa's gonna come there and they said they're gonna start cutting off A.N.O.N's heads. And we just show up like, what's up, man, how you doing? All right, I got my flag, you got your flag, who's streets? And that's it, we go, and we just do what we're doing. The streets were a little, it got a little crazier. People, zinging past me, running past, and it made you think like something might break out at any minute. We would have gotten caught up in it even if we were just as innocent as could be. I have to be honest with you, the sight of a burning car makes me giggle. That's because, to me, it's gotten so bad that people are willing to take that. You don't listen when people talk, you know what I mean? Like the powers that be, or don't listen, the people that are out here, and just everyday Joes like you and I, we're not standing up, and it's frustrating to deal with that lack of, solidarity and unity.
Get ready, get with your local militias, buy firearms, because you're gonna fucking need them. And if you think I'm wrong, alright, when you think I'm wrong, when the shit goes down, come find me. Because me and the crew that I'm with are the motherfuckers that you're gonna need.
The media has jumped on the idea that anyone who's dressed in black bloc is Antifa.
So, police are getting more tactful, and unfortunately, the citizens and the protesters, unfortunately, are being forced to do that as well. I think it's purposely being misled by the media to be something much more than it actually is.
So they're not domestic terrorists, then?
No, not at all. I mean, I would say no, but technically, against in the U.S. government's eyes and different military eyes, Anonymous is a terrorist organization as well.
The biggest exterior threat to Anonymous, outside of law enforcement and government infiltrators, are right-wing extremist groups.
Yeah, I was out there, mainly because once you start doing this awakening process, you see how the media portrays people and stuff like that. So I don't try and follow that at all. So I went down and found out for my fucking self, because what better way to figure out what these people are doing and what they're about. Now, and I understand from just people that I know that are a part of the, not necessarily Antifa, but the black bloc part of protesting and stuff like that, which is more tactical based and safety based. So it seemed like, they were twisting the European version here in the United States as a more destructive force and not as a way to different ways to protect protesters or defend yourself against police as far as shields or anything else like that, because this is all somewhat new to the United States as far as, much more tactical on the police and militarization of the police, like, out in South Dakota and stuff.
We can make America great again!
After we got the Trump march shut down, they haven't come back into Philadelphia.
Yeah, so basically they canceled the fucking march. They canceled the march. You know what I mean? They canceled it. Everywhere we go! People wanna know who we are!
Many police protests have had the presence of both, such as Ferguson with Mike Brown, shutting down Trump rallies used to recruit right-wing extremists, and anti-government actions such as Disrupt J20. Within Anonymous, many believe in a peaceful yet disruptive approach, but there are some who believe in violence as an answer to solving differences in political opinion.
The Antifa crowd is growing a little bit. they got their sticks. Is that pointy at the bottom there? Damn. Yeah, it is. That's crazy. These cops are out, like, escorting them in the middle of the road.
We have Anonymous in every, we have BLM, Antifa, 3%, you know, white supremacists. We have Anonymous in everywhere. Look, I don't give a fuck. You already know what time it is. You put your fucking hands on me. Oh, you're staying in office, Mike. What's up? 7 more years. You already know what time it is. You'll get your ass whooped. That's the point. Don't talk. Bring your ass out here. Yo! Get black, get our members the fuck up here. What's up?
Have you been harassed at all yet?
Oh, plenty of times. Someone tried yanking my sign. He said, "Let's go." He said, "Let's go right." Where is he? We're gonna point him out. I got harassed by. See that guy wearing the white hat right there?
Yeah.
White mask. That's it.
Okay.
Some Donald Trump supporters trying to infiltrate this march. They're trying to cause problems in this march. They're trying to play into the stereotypes and the fear promoting this march. But the people united will never be defeated.
I wouldn't try anything. I can't. That's the problem. You try and solve things with violence.
That's you never got the girl, you never got the guy, you never got anyone, you have no friends, you live with your grandmother, you're telling her you're studying, you're downstairs on Jack and Adam and all the other shit. Right?
You're all alone, dude. You're all alone, dude.
Your boyfriend's here.
Hey, here's your trouble.
I'm not into the computer shit. I'll get in your face in the street all day. You know what I mean? I'll confront police. I'll punch a Nazi in the face real quick. But, you know what I mean? I'll let them do that computer shit. You know what I mean? If I need some support, the hackers will help me out. Whatever, you know what I mean? And vice versa.
Shout out to the hackers, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the hackers, man.
Hey, what's up, commie man?
Huh? Commie your mom, bitch. Nah, Antifa, we'll just go ahead and put that out.
I know the laws. So you gotta know the laws. That's part of being an activist. Like, look, you gotta, it's tiptoeing those laws to be able to, you gotta make enough noise so people pay attention. But if you make too much noise, usually that's on the illegal side where you get in jail. You're not gonna be much good in jail. So you gotta know the laws and tiptoe.
With all the stuff in the news with like Antifa and all that, we've lost a lot of people. So we're tactical. We go out, we dress in black, we got our faces covered, we've got armor on, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are put off by that, thinking that it's violence, but it's more for our protection than anything else.
Off about me coming. Yeah, Bernie was locking eyes with me right before he went on stage. The cops, when I first walked up, the cops came up to me right away. Multiple individuals came up to me right away. But that shows you the power one individual has. You don't have to belong to an organization. You don't have to belong to a PAC or any of this other stuff. To hold politicians accountable, any one person can do that. And I think it's important that we do that. If we can't hold Bernie accountable, how can we expect to hold anybody else?
What John's campaign is about, and what the progressive message is about, is that we are going to transform this country and create a government that works for all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors. There is no reason why we remain the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people as a right, not a privilege.
Everybody has the power. That protest, that, you know, I jumped the stage and I chained myself to the railing. I padlocked the chain around my waist. You know, that got people talking around the nation. I got different interviews, even on Jim and Dore, specifically in reference to the Russian narrative. But that was also to show, kind of, I guess, as an A.N.O.N, the power that each and every individual has. Bernie, to me, originally was an A.N.O.N. You know, he was speaking truth, he was awakening people, and he educated more people about the political process than ever in history. Don't step up to the podium and start calling for a political revolution where revolutionaries are going to join on and not accept the consequences.
Yeah! Some people talk about the balls they have. Other people show that they have balls.
There's just a lot of things that are going on in this world that people need some serious change, and basically that's what we're out there trying to do.
We're everywhere, man. We do every cause from A to Z. So whenever one cause is done, we're just going to move on to the next.
I've been out to protest when we protested the Israeli consulate in Philadelphia when there was 10 of us. That protest was over, so 5 or 6 of us started to keep it moving. We were going to figure out what we were doing for the rest of the night, just hanging out or whatever. And then magically, there's 50 police officers surrounding us, walking around with us and following us and stuff, horseback, cars, bikes and shit. It was funny but ridiculous.
מה שקורה כאן בוועידת איפא"ק, אנחנו נחכה שהם בסופו של דבר להפריע לוועידת איפא"ק, ולא מדובר כאן בחבורה שבאה להפריע לכנס אנטישמים ופרו-פלסטינים.
Stop killing people. Okay, yeah. So tell us why you're here. Because we want people to stop killing each other. Okay. So what organization are you? I'm anonymous. Anonymous. Are you all from Anonymous? Yeah. Okay. We are anonymous. And what's your specific objective here today outside APAC? To support Palestine. Okay. To make sure people stop dying. Okay. We're all humans. Okay. Do you follow a lot what goes on in Israel and in the Palestinian areas? Do you follow a lot what goes? People are Were you there? Were you there? Have you been there? Have you actually? No, I haven't. But I don't want to see people dead.
Our tax dollars should not go to fund your bullshit. No one asked me if I wanted to kill Palestinians.
That other countries also get American tax dollars.
They don't get nearly as much as your little fucking period on the country's map. You're a dot. You're a fucking dot on the map. You created ISIS.
We created ISIS.
You created ISIS.
How did we create ISIS?
Through our tax dollars, through the Mossad, through the CIA, all to wage your proxy wars and false flag bullshit.
Understand that the picture of Islam is much broader. It's not a violent picture.
Palestine conflict is one that I started studying. I was about 14, 15. I'm 18 now. I've been studying it ever since. And I was just outraged in the beginning. Like, I understand that Jews need a safe place to live. Everyone needs a safe place to live. I think that they should have their own homeland somewhere, but I don't agree with the way it's classing with Palestine. They are destroying mosques, destroying homes, destroying schools. Over what cost? In 1982, when they invaded Beirut, they tore apart almost all of southern, Lebanon. It's ridiculous. Why? Because one rocket was fired within the previous year to that.
I literally hold that flag at every march I go to. It doesn't even have to be about Palestine. There's just numerous marches that I've been to that had nothing to do with Palestine. I was still repping that flag. That's always the one thing that I really come back to that I feel the most passionate about. At the end of the day, honestly, it's something that I've always felt since I was a kid and since I first started learning about it. Always, and it's gonna be like that until
what's the Palestine flag have to do with the revolt? What's going on? What's your emotions behind carrying that flag all the time?
For me, and I know a lot of other really big time activists have said this as well, you can't have freedom without the freedom of Palestinians, because injustice done to one is injustice done to every other person around the globe. Yeah. So it's I can't stand back and watch these people getting murdered and massacred and having their land stolen every single day, while the same country I'm living in is funding these massacres by giving them billions and billions of dollars a year and giving them all kinds of military aid and whatnot. And I refuse to stand back and watch this happen. You know what I mean? I can't just... It's impossible for me to sit back, watch injustice occur, and not stand up and say something about it. I don't care if it brings about the death of me. I don't care if I go to jail for the rest of my life for speaking up. It's something that I'm passionate about and something I'm not going to stop.
I have nothing wrong with the Jewish community. I think they're a great group of people. But what we're seeing today is just a failure on behalf of humanity at the end of the day. What we're seeing is a tragedy on a whole unprecedented level. We're not talking about soldiers being killed. We're talking about innocent kids and women and hard-working men being killed every day. For what? They can't go to school. They can't cross the border. They can't leave the country. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. They can't go to work. They can't make a living. They can't hold their farms. Their land is being taken over through settlements. Everything is being destroyed. And what are we doing about it? The whole world is standing up and saying this needs to stop.
A lot of different shit that's all fucked up in this world, and basically wanted to fucking do something about it. We need to get up off their asses and fucking do something. Sitting on the couch watching TV, but you just talking, people sit there and complain about it. Stop your fucking bitching and get up off your ass and do something. Nobody's gonna do it for you. This isn't our revolution, this is your revolution.
Nobody gonna help us. The government they don't give a shit about us. If they gave a shit about us, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in.
We stand by the movement. We're all sick and tired of the police. We're tired of the killing of black people, the killing the people in general. You see from these videos that they're plainly murdering these people. They got them pinned down, they got them where they can't do nothing, but they're still killing them anyways. And even with video proof, they're still getting away with it all too often. So we're here to stand up for the movement. We're going to keep moving for the people, not here in just Philly, but in California and everywhere around the United States. Anonymous is coming, expect us.
You can tell when the devils don't want you to hear the truth. You feel me? You can tell when the devils don't want you to hear the truth, don't want you to hear the truth. But I'm here to tell you, I'm telling you, reaping time is coming. It's already here. The purge is here. It's not a movie anymore. It's always been here.
She's not a bitch. You're a bitch. You're the bitch. Don't put your finger in the bitch. It ain't worth it. You're the bitch. You're the bitch. You're the bitch. You just know it. We good. Let it go.
No, it's better crime out in the city. I asked my man why he don't go down to Second and Diamond. You know what he said? It's scary. How you gonna be a fucking law enforcement agent and say it's scary? Crazy. Fuck out, man.
Eric Garner. Kelly Thomas. You got all these motherfuckers murdered on camera. And what the fuck do? You run out there in the motherfucking streets and fucking... Hey, I'm guilty of it too. I spent 9 months in Ferguson, okay? For Mike Brown. Rest in peace to that motherfucker. And I have respect for his father and Lala, and Candace, and all these motherfuckers and that went out there for that shit. But let me tell you something. Fuck you doing? You wanna know what? Nothing.
So we're gonna be surrounded by officers that may one day have to police their own communities. Not as in the traditional sense, meaning when martial law is enacted, they will have to arrest their fellow neighbors. They will have to invade people of interest. They will have to raid their homes. The officers that are listening, what side will you be on when that does happen? All it takes is one catastrophe, one calamity to happen for the country to rally around that and for our constitutional rights to be suspended. That is real shit. Like if you've seen other nations, that has happened, all right? It will happen here, and it's just a matter of time.
Right.
Country greens.
Y'all live, say hello to Facebook. What's up, Facebook?
Come get the cocks and donuts with us. We're getting the cocks and donuts. Come on, get this cocks and
We
donuts.
clearly do not know how to act. Don't give a fuck.
Like, oh man, what do I do?
Yep. Just acting up.
Donuts. Donuts. Free donuts! Free donuts! And please, no victim, no crime! No victim, no crime! No victim, no crime! Justice for the guy in the back! Justice for the guy in the back! Free that guy in the back!
This is not a threat or anything of the sort towards the police or any individual. But if anything happens to my sister, Lala, that's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, listen, they will hit you with their bikes. I've seen it here in Philly. They will hit you with their bikes if you get close. Even though that shit probably don't hurt, but you hit a pedal on your shin.
There's another thing I want to talk about is non-violent crimes, you know, and how many incarcerated that don't need to be incarcerated. I mean, it's just, you know, there could be other programs out there, work programs, you know, trying to get people back assimilated to their communities.
New and troubling video, a deadly encounter with police, this time in Delaware. 4 officers rushing to the scene. 2 of them you can see here, their weapons drawn, pointing at a young man in a wheelchair. Moments later, a hail of gunfire, and here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
New accusations tonight of police using excessive deadly force caught on cell phone video.
Give me your hands, show me your hands!
Police make this demand more than a dozen times.
Show me your hands!
4 Wilmington, Delaware officers with guns drawn Wednesday afternoon, responding to a call of a man with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Drop the gun!
28-year-old Jeremy McDole was previously paralyzed from the waist down from a gunshot 10 years ago. On Wednesday, police say they thought he was reaching for a gun. Moments later, a barrage of bullets, killing him. McDole's mother disputes police, who say a gun was recovered near her son's body.
This is unjust. He had his hands on his lap when he opened and fired on him 5 more times.
The 4 officers involved have all been put on paid administrative leave pending an investigation.
Rally/March for Justice for Bam Bam was a great success. I hope we get our answers to our questions. I hope it speeds the process on getting the names of the officers and more stuff like that. I just want to make sure that everybody knows, and I want to continue putting it out there, that my brother did not have no gun at all. They shot him 16 times, not 10 times, they shot him 16 times. I seen his body. The last number that I seen was 16. And I have to say my brother did not have a gun. So if there is a gun in evidence, the police put it there.
Police! Fuck it, we gonna grab the Listen, we got kids and babies out here, and strollers and more. We didn't come to fight, we didn't come to
My brother was an amazing person, and this event is only the first. I'm not stopping until we get answers. If I have to march by myself, and if I have to do more events and more events and more events, if I have to sleep events, that's what's going to happen. But it's justice. I want justice. My family wants justice. The city wants justice. The community wants justice. People around the world wants justice. And I'm going to make sure that I help assist that. If I have to throw marches, rallies, whatever I have to do, I'm going to continue to do it.
Come on, let's go! If you can't do your job, Mayor Mike, step down and allow somebody to get in that position who will do so.
$1 million.
Or anything, we will be there. We will be there to shut it down. The mayor has been in office already for 4 years. He has done absolutely nothing in the city of Wilmington.
State agents are firing rubber bullets and tear gas at the migrants trying to seek asylum in a country that's supposed to stand for the free. If you support this, fuck you, fuck your family, fuck your kids, fuck your parents. Kiss my motherfucking ass.
Late 2014, early 2015 is when I got involved with a guy from iPredator up in New York. And basically what iPredator was cyberbullying and pedophile hunting. So basically what we would do is we'd set up bait accounts, we'd put the bait accounts up on social media sites, let the bad guys come to us, and you know, we'd basically talk to them, act like we're a little 12, 13-year-old kid, get them to, you know, give us all the information that we need to get them basically locked up. Did that for a couple months. Then I got up with a couple people from Anonymous who were doing the same thing under the banner of Pedo Hunt. That operation was going good at that point. There was a lot of people getting involved. There was tons of bait accounts out there that we were catching them left and right. And this wasn't just happening here in the States, it was all over. There was quite a few people that I know that actually put a couple people in jail. I had one person that I got arrested. I had one person that was basically real close to being put away for, you know, trying to solicit sexual acts with a minor. The reason I really got into it was because of this one right here. You know, that's my little baby right here. No matter what, she's always gonna be my little baby, you know. As a matter of fact, now to the point, I have people, friends that I wouldn't have talked with in years, they'll message me and they'll be like, hey, do you still handle that? Do you still deal with that?
I do want you to know that the texts and the phone calls you're about to hear are disturbing, but they do offer a rare glimpse into online grooming.
It starts with a wink and a friend request.
He said hello and I said hello. Within 2 to 3 messages, as always, I say that I'm a 13-year-old boy, and he accepted it.
6 minutes after they begin texting, this 40-year-old man asks for pictures from a boy he believes to be 13 years old. 11 minutes later, a creepy shirtless photo and requests for the boy to do the same.
On the 3rd day, he started asking for penis pictures, nude photographs, and describing sexual things that he wanted to do.
And they'll start telling me stories. And some of these stories, they'll make you cry. They'll make you cry. The shit that you gotta sit there and listen to. And I believe it. And unfortunately, I may only be one person, but there's a lot of other hunters out there, and we're all doing the best we can to catch these fuckers.
Now, has the authorities been supportive? Like, what do they think when you come into them with this information?
For the most part, they are unsupportive at first. They look at you as an outsider trying to do bullshit jobs. They don't think that you're helpful at all. They think that you're, you know, in the middle of it, what you're doing is you're gonna be messing up their chance of getting them. Well, guess what? You ain't even talking to this guy. You don't even know who he is. We're bringing him to you. We're giving you the information. We're giving you all the screenshots. Matter of fact, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, I gave them one of my beta accounts. Let them go in there. They got all the information they had on the guy. I had the meet and greet set up on this guy, and they went and blew it.
I do believe that something is going to happen where, like, you know, it's basically like it's going to be like their final like push for their new world order, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like their final agenda is like they're going to definitely push for it.
A lot of people don't know what it is or what can it do to your body, but cannabis is a healing factor for the people. The joint was actually something very beautiful. I grew up in Trenton all my life, and I've seen so many things for, older people, nothing for like the younger crowd. And the joint was basically perfect because it fit in all genres, whether you're old, you're young, if you're into music, if you're not into music, if you're into food. You know, it was like the perfect conduit, I would say.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So when Anonymous got together and said, hey, there's this pot shop. Well, at the time, they didn't know it was a pot. It wasn't just a restaurant, but they called it a pot shop. And it was only because like they didn't know too much about it. And they said, you know what, get in contact with this guy, see what you can do to help. And ever since then, I've basically been doing joint operations with Anonymous and Trenton Weed Man's joint.
The war on drugs is definitely something that affects all of us, like at home and abroad as well. Whether it's your tax dollars going to be spent on a failed war on drugs, or maybe you're a victim of violence in the community because of the war on drugs.
Apparently they didn't realize that there's a new law that cannabis is legal for certain people, or even is legal for anybody who just went through the process of getting the cards. But we did that, and the fact that they did what they did, it hurt a lot of people. It hurt me, specifically, it kind of like triggered like my PTSD because I was in 2 out of the 3 raids, and then the last one at the Black Lives Music Arts and Festival. It was like, they busted in and it was terrible. One cop, for me filming, the cop stuck a gun in my face. And it was probably one of the worst experiences of my life.
Hey, can y'all hear me over there? Yeah. Whoa! Get the out of here! Get the out of here!
This operation here, they've been trying to shut this building down, so we need every resource that we can at this point. Right? This is a hub for activism. A lot of activists use this as their center. You know, this is a place for alternative minds and truthers. Protect this place. Save it. All right? Save the joint.
Save the joint! That's the mission tonight.
My father is Maroon, so all his life he was taught to just be rebellious, always ask questions. So even though even something would have happened, which I'm glad it didn't, I would have stood strong. I would have stood tall. I wouldn't have changed anything. I would still be there to this day.
So you guys can talk to him when he gets here, okay?
All right, I just want to get badge numbers and everything.
You do whatever you want. I'm recording too. So.
I know.
Thank you.
I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure I get everything. After 11.
No, but we went through this. We went to court.
We already went through it, but he already said
it. We went to court. They issued an apology for holding. I'm just talking. I'm not yelling. I'm all right. Go ahead. They issued an apology because this is a business district. Right. They're allowed to stay open.
And according to my boss, who's on his way here, he said that after 11 o'clock to shut
No, but he's wrong.
Well, you can talk to him about it.
All right, he's coming. But y'all clearly know it's wrong, though.
How do I clearly know?
Because it's public knowledge that business district, this is a business district, no houses here. They're on the map. If we bring you the map and you look at it, would it be okay?
Listen, I'm not here to argue with you.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just asking you.
I don't know.
You don't know.
So you
don't know. But you don't know.
I'm following orders.
You're following orders. Does anybody know here the rules as far as how this business operates?
Because this is a business.
Does anybody know?
As to be expected due to the popularity and notoriety of New Jersey Weed Man, harassment by law enforcement officials began. Multiple raids and imprisonment for Ed Fortune slowed the momentum, but he was ultimately able to beat trial and is flourishing to this day. Free the Weed Man, New Jersey Weed Man. He gave us so much opportunity when he came through, opened up his Weed Man's joint, temple, restaurant there right across from City Hall in Trenton. Opened us up with nothing but love, never charged us a dime to hold any of our events there, and so he's locked up now. They shut his place down, raided it, arrested him. He's in jail on witness tampering charges, even though he beat most of those charges already.
He should be home already.
He should be home. It was a hung jury. So we got to continue.
Lane said what, 11-1 in the jury?
He had him beat, man. He should be fucking home right now. They have him like with his bail revoked, and he's basically being held hostage by the state.
The NJ Weed Man said, fuck the law, smoke it anyway! And for sure, fuck the law, smoke it anyway!
All my friends are stoners, everyone I know gets high. Maybe there's a reason why weed's not legalized.
My people always be afraid of what they don't know. I understand, can't comprehend the info so old. The Reefer Madness video is purely propaganda. A movie made to scare all of the kids in Alabama. Maybe they're afraid or think they might lose control instead of embracing its many uses from farming to medical. It's so pathetic though how pharmaceutical companies can make you feel high to low. It seems it's all about the money, bunny colors.
Friends are stoners, everyone I know gets high. Maybe there's a reason why weed's not legalized. Maybe they're afraid of too much peace and harmony. Maybe they're afraid of open minds and people free.
I remember I was a kid reading about him in the news. So for when I was able to grow up and march alongside him, it was such an honor. It was like I learned so much from him. He continued to fight. He did about 1.5 years in prison after they raided the joint, pretty much shut it all down. He was fighting for legalization. I was a teenager. And part of what I got into activism was I got locked up when I was 15 years old for selling weed in high school. That kind of like springboarded the rest of my life in terms of that activism on that front. He fought. He came up here, smoked at the Liberty Bell, and got arrested. So usually when we come out here every year, we head over there, and it's symbolic. We just give them a shout out, we smoke, and all that stuff there. All right, so if you have it.
And tonight, the I-Team going behind the scenes with a black market New Jersey pot dealer. He's up front about his underground business, so why is he openly challenging the government's rollout of legal marijuana? Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace takes us inside the world of the New Jersey Weed Man.
Welcome to the joint.
It's the lunchtime rush at Trenton, New Jersey's smoking hotspot.
It's talk of the town. Everybody telling me to come here and say he got the best in town.
It's all flour right there. So we pre-bag it. Gummies, edibles and stuff.
This is the black market.
This is the black market.
A booming market of pot products.
2 grams of flour.
Sold illegally and openly at N.J. Weedman's joint right across from City Hall.
I think I'm like the people's champ right now. The Robin Hood of reefer.
Are you daring the cops to raid you?
I used to, and I'm not daring the cops. Actually, that's more the politicians.
Fortune, who has a decades-old felony drug conviction, says he's beaten other recent prosecutions.
I believe the reason why I'm not being arrested is because of my past success.
This motherfucker right here. Yo, DJ Weltch and fucking New Jersey fucking Weed Man is the reason why we're all here. New Jersey fucking Weed Man. This motherfucker.
That everybody should smoke weed. They should take those chemtrail planes, fill them with a couple thousand pounds of weed, and fly over the world. There'd be world peace for an hour.
Like there's so many faces from Weed Man's that it's just doing my heart good. There's new faces. Everybody's talking under the same umbrella though, and seems to be, you know, in agreement. There's big things coming, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
We are here to provide a warning to our countrymen that a rocky abyss awaits us if we continue this path. This republic is of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is not the property of the ruling elite. A new age of freedom, charity, peace, and love has begun so that all the peoples of America and of the world may thrive.
The mask is red. How are you, man?
Here we have Tina and Scott serving up some meals.
We didn't know anything about you guys, honestly, and kind of like what the fuck, you know? So, and you guys all came and blessed the hell out of us, and I wish my boy was here because he would say the same thing. I just want to say thank you to every single one of you guys. They were fucking awesome. I love you too. I love all you guys.
We like to reach out to addicts in our area. We like to reach out to the homeless in our area. We like to do at least a little that we can do, and we think that that's the message from A.N.O.N. I mean, whether you're one person or 50 people, you can at least make a little bit of difference and educate and treat people in a good manner, and that's what this movement is about.
Just kind of give you an insight. We're down here on in Monument Square. You guys want to bring some donations down? You can just drop them off right here, and we'll take care of them. Be down here for the next few more hours or so. A.N.O.N's kicking it, helping out the public, helping out these people right here. Our newest member right here.
What's up?
Adam. We got Pop on the food here. Pop's rolling on the food.
Oh yeah, we're on.
And we've done some ops. I mean, we've had some beautiful, beautiful ops. We bring everything we can. Everybody brings a little bit. There's been times where an op will go on with literally a carload of people. You can do it with anybody. You can go out yourself with a cooler on wheels. You know what I mean? Throw some PB&J sandwiches in there, get some cold waters. You know what I mean? If you got something in your area, you got a bigger need in your area, and you want us to come to you, and you're like in this area, because now it's expanded. It turned into, you know, it was Anonymous New Jersey, and then, you know, and with the Philly.
I got involved in it. I started going solo, starting my own ops. Helping people is contagious. All right, people will see and get inspired by what you do.
We started off with only 3 people at the last Anonymous event that we partnered up with N.J. Weed Man, and ever since then, as you can see, it's just ballooned to this. So we got big plans for 2016. Stay tuned, follow us, and I hope we got more partnerships here at the joint.
Okay, I tell her bring it back, bring it back, like.
Presented by the joint. This is one of them things, you know, give back to the community. One of those things where, you know, just, you know, anybody trying to make no money, just trying to make people happy. That's it. Just help people. One of them things.
But like locally, this is important to us. Like, this is what we do. This is like, we live the way that I've always thought of as anonymous, like being dedicated. You can't go every minute. You can't have an op every weekend. You know what I mean? Like, we all got families, we've got, jobs, and, we'd all love to be out of the system, but the reality is we're in this shit as well.
What up, Facebook?
What up, bitches?
Offspring love.
We out here.
Anonymous. Bring it in, world. It's like MTV Cribs. We got the motherfucking hood mac and cheese.
Hood mac and cheese, yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
Some more
mac and cheese.
We got all.
Stopped twice, but it's been all love. They let us go. We gotta find our nest though. There's a guy here from the church who had a permit.
Yeah.
We don't do permits, but he's helping us out.
Fuck the permit, fuck the police.
And as I got older, I started getting more and more involved with like current events and politics. And I just felt like such this deep passion inside of me. I was like, I really have to do something. And then one day I just met the right person and she introduced me to Anonymous. And I was like, I always heard about these guys before. I always wanted to get involved to make a change. And then I went out to Philly to help the homeless one day. And then I never looked back. It just went straight up from there. And it's awesome.
We started out in Philly. We branched out to Jersey, to Delaware. Every step that you take could put you one step closer to being homeless. Unfortunately, every single year, you're getting a lot more homeless people out there and they're getting forgotten about. These people, that half of them, you don't know why they're out on the streets, but it could be the snowball effect. One thing leads into another, and out of nowhere, they're down on the streets, okay? I tell her always, be happy for what you got, because you never know what's right around the corner.
We have homeless packs that we make. We have medical wipes, Band-Aids, ear swabs, cough drops,
wow.
Toothpicks, some energy chews. We get some toe warmers.
All the stuff is needed out on the streets. And to be honest with you, these little packs right here that we make them up 40, 50 at a time, and they cost probably about $1 a pack.
Wow.
We're not rich. We can't afford to spend a lot of money, but we can do that.
Tom, what we doing here today?
We're out here in Camden, handing out food to the homeless, trying to keep them warm, trying to give them some clothes and stuff too. Handing out food, handing out water. We got all kinds of good stuff with us, trying to spread some love as well in the city. So yeah, we're just trying to make a positive impact and make a different. You know what I mean? It's what we need to do. It's what we're going to do.
Is Camden the only city you taking care of?
We go to Camden, we go to Trenton, we go to Philly, we go to Wilmington. We went to Flint a couple times, all over the place, nationwide.
Like, hey, you want to do some ops? He's like, we really want to get out there and do some homeless ops. I felt like I came along at just the right time to be, I've got a lot of experience in the food service industry. I've got a house full of kids. I'm a mother of 7. And so that was it. We just started in with Trenton, instant connection with these guys, and just we've been like family ever since.
The bravery that I witnessed was amazing. Some of the things I didn't like was some of the, the homelessness that's so prevalent right across from the White House. It's homeless people sleeping on the benches.
We're here to support you, okay? All right. We're here to support you, brother. Oh, bitch, it's free. I love
When you go around to the soup kitchens and the shelters and you see how many homeless there actually are, when you go to these events and help a few, you know how bad the problem is. You don't go home happy, oh, I did good, I did my deed for today, or you go home fucked up in the head, like, why is this even happening?
Literally, in 30 minutes, 150 people would come up and we run out of supplies. And it's just maybe 10 to 15 of us. So we need your help.
I'm happy to give it to you, sir. Believe me, I wish I had a whole kitchen here. I'd feed you all day and night.
Plastic bag cleaner? Yes. How many tables bags are in? I take that.
Flint's government deliberately poisoned them to save a couple bucks. That's the long story short. You want to, I'm not going to rehash the whole thing. It had been going on probably for about 2 years or so, and a few people, in the activist circuit, decided to put together a water run and bring clean water to Flint. It started out, it started growing, it went. I caught wind of it and said, I'm gonna take a truck and I'm bringing water. And like I said, I'm in Jersey. started collecting water in our area. There was some coming down that people had been collecting in New York that I had contact with. Then N.J. Weed Man's joint allowed me to put a pallet out there, and people would just come in all the time and fill up those pallets. They keep them covered up. Hand loading one last pallet that was gotten from her donation. He's live, I'm live. We're filming. And we're gonna bring this back to that spot that I filmed at earlier because there was such an incredible need.
Operation Flint Water!
Indeed. Indeed, boys holding it down. Boys are holding it down.
Anonymous State College bringing water to Flint, Michigan. Never forget. Happy Memorial Day.
Expect us, motherfuckers.
Expect us.
To Flint, man, y'all are down as hell. People from all over the place have joined in with us there. And it's really just an extra, I feel like they're our sister city. You know what I mean? Like, it's the worst. I can't believe the blatant genocide. I can't understand it. I will never wrap my head around it. And that's why I keep going back. Basically 2014, I was coming back from a real hard time. My family had a lot of losses. Lost my son to leukemia in 2011. My father was killed on his motorcycle in 2012. He was my best friend. 3 months later, my mother passed, also leukemia. She was a big time activist. Real heavy presence online. She had a lot of people that, paid attention to her, and she corresponded with all over this globe, and, lost her as well. So it's just a lot of things, a few more things in the family. And I was just real down and real, trying to find my way, back to living after a lot of sorrow. And started, my daughter Zoe, my eldest daughter Zoe, started turning me on to some Russell Brand shit. And at the time, he was talking some real shit to me, you know what I mean? And so I was impacted by that a lot. And it was a lot of kind of the way my mother's teachings were, like the way that she came across about, being connected and this type of a thing. And so that's kind of the way it started. And it started to get a little crazier and a little crazier in the news, and this happened and that happened. And I lived down at the Jersey Shore, and I remember the news hitting that Eric Garner was killed on the street 45 minutes away from me. And I got in the car and I went to Staten Island, and I stood right there in the spot where he was murdered.
Came over to us and gave us a bag of baby shit.
And within all that time, the guy was still around his neck.
Put your hand behind your back. I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Then he got up, pushed his face into the floor twice, and then put his knee on top of his face while Eric was telling him he couldn't breathe. And I seen his eyes roll back, and he was foaming from the mouth, and I knew he was gone from there.
Ever since then, years and years go by, and then you get to know these people personally and stuff like that, and it's becoming much more than just, a protest group and stuff like that. It is an actual collective that's full-time, fully active between each other, and, constantly figuring out what the next step of, what needs to be done to get done. That they were doing with, hacking different political systems and accounts and stuff. And they seemed like they were generally doing what our government should be doing. So, I figured I'd go check it out and see what it's about. And at that point, here we are, I guess, 6 years later, 5 years later, or whatever it is. And, still in it and still doing it.
It's been going on for this many years now. We're tired. We want to change. We want to let people know that at this point, we're kind of getting to a boiling point.
Zoe and I hit the road, man, and we started going up to the city all the time. The Black Lives Matter movement in full swing, shutting down the Brooklyn Bridge, shutting down Brooklyn, thousands of people. It was like real deep, and it was like personally for me what I needed to, put some sort of fire back in me, through some real hard times. And so that was the beginning of it. I wound up talking to this dude that was up in the city doing the Anonymous New York City. I saw the mask one day and was just like, what the hell is this? And it was immediate, like the first couple of videos, it was like being struck. It was literally like being struck. Like, holy shit, these are my people, It was real deep. It was a real deep connection immediately. And that was it.
All of that, I have all this negative energy instead of falling off track like so many of my friends do and wind up in jail or just a sad statistic. You know, I found like kind of bumped into activism, which was a way to take that negative energy and gear it towards a positive. One of the reasons why I like A.N.O.N. is because you can be an individual. You don't have to go along with this group just because they said, you know, a lot of times with organizations, let's take a vote and on consensus we should go this direction. Well, I don't think we should go that direction.
It's really amazing to be amongst people that are literally like family.
Happy birthday, dear Zang. Happy birthday to you.
Knowledge is power, and when anonymous is what I get from anonymous is that people nowadays people are asleep, and anonymous basically questions a person's mentality, see if they're woke or even if they're aware of certain things that's going on in the world.
We're not going to stop pushing forward. I've heard people say fucking A.N.O.N. is done. They fucking run their mouths on like fuck you, A.N.O.N. is not done.
We aren't type of activists to just show up once a year. We're not the type of activists to just show up for anonymous movements. If you have a cause that we believe in as well, we're there right with you.
We're as relevant as ever. We're about some real shit. And even if you don't agree with us, we would still do an op with you. We would still march against, for a unified front.
Anonymous is here for you. We're not here to harm you. We're not here to agitate you. We're just here to put the truth in front of you and let you decide. Free will.
Get over here.
Shout out to Anonymous Maine, Anonymous Pennsylvania. Good seeing you all.
Love you, world. Love you, world.
You know, I enjoy life. We care about people.
We care about people. We have an understanding to people that are in our situations. We have an understanding.
Yeah.
We have an understanding on homelessness. We have an understanding on our opium crisis here in the state of Maine right now.
You know, this is behind the
Love,
mask.
respect, unity, straight, recovery.
You already know. Well, this is behind the mask and marijuana.
And marijuana.
Smoke. Stay high. Stay live. Love you guys.
Yeah.
We recognize that the Philly area in particular had a large number of contributors in the movement scattered around the region without any sense of structure. We also recognize that the A.N.O.Ns in this area were some of the most passionate and most fierce throughout the country. We sought to add structure while still remaining a decentralized movement. We began to start identifying ourselves as the Anonymous Northeast Operations Network.
We support other activists no matter how fucked up they are. We support all groups. Just because they don't support us doesn't mean we don't support them.
Between paintball events, live weapons training, survival workshops, you name it, marches, protests, shutting shit down.
Like Jose's my brother. Like, there's so many people here that are fucking family.
That's what that mask represents right there. You know, Anonymous is not an organization. There's no leaders. There's no group. It's just a loose collective of people who have a common goal, who wish to see a better place, you know, a better world for the children, and be part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Our crew, like the Northeast crew, so we're a collection of like all the states here in the Northeast that we all brought together. We were like all lone wolves. Basically, we're all doing our own protests and things like that. So part of my mission was to gather everyone and create a movement in this area so that we can, you know, combine our resources and really make shit happen. So we're anonymous. We're all across the country. Some places are more active. Some regions are more active than others. That was one of the things that I wanted to make sure was I have the best set. You know what I mean? We have the best collective. We're the most active, and that's what we've been doing these last few years.
We all know that this is not a battle that you come out and fight one day out of the year. This is something that you fight every single day. This is continuous. And I love all my Philly people because we're out here almost every weekend, right across the street, handing out sandwiches to the homeless.
It's always quality over quantity. We've been with a core squad for a minute, and man, we love to see everybody come out, but you know, our core should be this size to me. Everybody can't take the trip all the time. People came in from Maine, Massachusetts, where else? New York, Florida. Yo, come on, man. Like, that's crazy. Y'all are fucking legit.
If there's not one going on around you, create an event. Get out there, start doing something.
come up here, come join us. We have no problem. Anybody wants to come join us.
We got the police in the background over there.
You know, we be on YouTube too. Motherfuckers is on there.
Just wake up. Look with your own eyes. You can see what is going on out there. You can see what is actually happening. Don't take somebody else's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Okay? Use your own mind. Use your own eyes. You'll see what's actually happening. Believe yourself.
Take care of yourselves and your family. So learn to defend yourself, get in shape, learn to grow your own foods, how to purify water, those things that we're going to need in the event that the electric grid goes down, which is a strong possibility in the future.
I found out that God is an energy, a good energy, man. And, that thing that I thought was listening, that energy is listening. I believe that. After getting a couple of lessons from my friends at Anonymous, started to understand God.
That helped turn you on to Anonymous, like the hacking group?
Yes, I got friends.
Really? Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, man, they done posted so many things with me in it and everything.
Hackers and stuff in general, they're on your side. I guess I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're allies.
Allies.
We're trying to do something. I can't tell you what it is, but we're trying to do something.
Guns to be purchased at will and fired at whim. The drug epidemic is getting worse and worse. Our soldiers are coming home every day in a hearse. Try to make a change for the better, you die if there's no profit to be made on the political side. Our elderly people lay lonely and dying. The poor little children stay hungry and crying. The mentally ill are abused and mistreated. On the quiet room floor lying bruised and defeated. Cable TV promotes sex and violence. Corrupt police use the blue wall of silence. Women are kidnapped, raped and murdered. Priests molest children, they say it's unheard of. But one of these days the laws will be stricter when a true leader comes and changes this picture. And I don't know who the savior will be, but if there's a God, I hope he chooses me.
GMOs to police brutality, to illegal wars and all the innocent fatalities. They consider critical thinking an abnormality. Everyone has a brain, but only a few use their mental faculties. I mean, what the fuck? Did we come from a damn factory? Every 4 years we go out and vote. Bet you don't know about the pedophiles snorting coke. Every Sunday the church tells you hope. Contaminated water in Flint, now a pipeline in Dakota. The school of hard knocks don't give out no diplomas. No more sitting and idle. It's time to take back our fucking freedom. Remember the 5th of November, people. We're all here. Everybody isn't equal. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, gay, or straight. Spread the love and erase the hate. Peace.
This too, shout out to Steve Brandy's Automatic, Les Clay, Synthesis, so many others out there that speaking the truth. We appreciate you.
We all know Steve Grant and the movement is one of the few artists that have actually used the marches as a platform to help get the message of his music out and helps push the movement forward as well. So
I don't need a hand but the help. This is who I am, and this is something I handle myself. You can't understand what I felt. You can scan and examine my scalp, but I've learned from the burns you only get from standing in hell. This pain must be released or else it can be power zapping. And I've been down this road before beneath the clouds of blackness, and I can start to see the teeth inside the mouth of madness, but I refuse to let it swallow me now, and that's because I don't let it eat me alive. See, I'm just a man standing on the planet like a giant root. They call me Steve Grant, and I am Groot. I'm loving the mud and the worms, the bugs and the dirt. Look above at the birds, and all of my skill is coming from drinking this chlorophyll, yeah, the blood of the earth.
I felt like that I could use my own talents, my own connections in the area as a music producer since 2006, that I would use my resources, my connections to help create a platform for activism and help steer artists too in a more conscious-like direction.
We are anonymous. We are legion. United as one. Divided by zero.
Expect us.
Time to bring the streets back and put the real right back into reality. We need that. Don't give a fuck about your feedback or recap. We bleed facts. Time for y'all to all play your part and just believe that. We gon' bring it right in your face so you can see that. That breath of fresh air, go ahead and breathe that. That gorilla hunger through the day and the night. We here to feed that and line up as an army, make the opposition lean back. United as one, divided by zero. I know you see me side by side with the hero. Remain anonymous, but with us is good fellas that can see no other option but help Godfather these streets like Robert De Niro. Look, fuck these government officials creating much of the issue. They need to focus on who struggle with issues. We not at all scared of tussling with you. Line them up and shut it down and know who really up against you, cause we coming to get you.
In the end, if you leave your people deserted, I don't want to be a burden, so I start and take my first step towards the march. March, 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 march. Now everybody scream hip hop anonymous. 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 Hip hop. Everybody scream march. 17th Street heading march. March. The finale. March. Everybody scream march. March. March.
I just connected with these people right away because I feel like I don't be out in the streets and at these protests, but I got a voice, man. I got a powerful voice.
That's what we need.
And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's why
a revolution isn't just fought in the streets, it's fought through culture as well, and that's where the music side of it comes through.
Brother Stevie Franks, good brother that's been supportive of our Anonymous movement. He was in the Anonymous music video, March by Craig Lynch, Stevie Franks and Dizzy. He's performed at a couple of the Gathering of A.N.O.N. events. The only two that we've had, he's been at both of them.
There's a lot behind the scenes that took the scenic route. They done planted seeds, but never they took the penis out. We've been outwitted by witnesses who understand the businesses and own the businesses and are the businesses. We need to have faith in ourselves, like the prophets read. Do some homework and understand what the prophet is. Country got us hustling backwards, like we on the block with Nas Rewind. It's like they never see God. Flow water, call me Sea God. Take the hat from the top of my dome and slowly watch the sea rise. They want us to stop breeding, so they breeding self-hatred. And they strip naked. This country we help make it.
You know, those fucking government taxes.
Yeah, man, motherfucking entourage.
Where you at, Steve Grant? Yeah, Steve Grant.
Cause he don't talk to doctors.
Lyrically feel amazed, and the flow is rage. Looking at me, looking at them, just look at the pen blaze. We heard the ancients, and we learned from sages. We don't write the books, nah, but we turn the pages.
Yeah, the time has come, and we're on the way. We see it through the lies, and we're not afraid. We on the other side, where everything is real. Are you prepared? Get ready for the same. It's like a modern day warrior.
Stand up! No land hasn't had the man's touch program since you could stand up. Can't reach in the pot where handcuffs. Taxation is theft. Do you know what that means? Taking your money and making you bleed. Feel all the pain and hear all the screams from man machines and kids vaccines. The votes are rigged. The system is fucked. When sonar pings, it's giving us up. If the boneyard sings, ignorance won. But that's not gonna happen. Resistance has come. Now walk along. Let's take a trip. That oil, someone's gotta pay for it. But your supporters paper thin to attack. They create waves within to place the blame on them. Strategic placements in sight, making hate begin.
Destiny is absorbing. Many countries are now not importing GMO products, but Americans are silent. Time to clean out your ears, open your eyelids. The studies are there. Who cares if they're independent? Independents are dependent. Changes in the present.
I said the best, you get one mic. But the truth of the matter is you get one life. Every second you wait, it's like another chance. Every second you wait, you waste another plan. To get that big break on the sun mic. To sum it all together, you get one life. Every minute you wait, it's like another chance. Every second you wait, you waste another plan. To get that big break on the sun mic. To sum it all together, you get one life.
Yeah!
Come here, Venom. Come here, Venom. What you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna make kisses. Come on, Venom. Come on, Venom. Big dog. Oh, hey, motherfucker, relax, bruh. What's up, Bubba? What you gonna do?
The revolution is inside you, but you know what that really means? That means you have to work on yourself. The fallen brothers and sisters that we have gone through, okay? We don't have to always need to wait for someone to reach out. We should be checking in on each other. Anonymous is an incredible gateway and access point of a vehicle that we could all use as a way to really, really get close to each other, not just once a year show up shit.
Shout out to the ones that we've lost over the few years that have transpired. Condolences to you and your families.
Got a list of all the A.N.O.Ns that had passed away, and it was just mind-boggling about how many of us had died over the last couple of years. Things like suicide, overdoses, disease, accidents.
What you think, man? How's everything going so far? Yeah. What's gonna happen at the Capitol, bro?
There are people with leadership qualities that have stepped forward throughout the years to really push the movement onward. So for someone like John, who helped organize the very first Million Mass March in the Washington, D.C., and then the subsequent marches year over year, losing him was just like a huge blow to the movement. Like,
now, what happens to the Million Mask March now? That's
so it's actually John stepped away back in 2016, 2017. Okay. He was very frustrated with the direction of the movement, where it was going. He felt we should be more aggressive, needed to do armed demonstrations. It got wild, and I've seen it get crazy and get the intensity ramp up. And I think that's where the frustration came from, was that John was trying to really build on that year over year to show the powers that be that we are serious. Like, we've been at the Capitol building where riot cops have shut it down off of maybe 200-300 people, and if you go and look at the Capitol riots where tens of thousands of people, and they did not have even an ounce of the initial police presence that Anonymous would bring out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's kind of
John would think like, hey, if we can get the 1,000 people, the 10,000 people out there, and really go there with a sound strategy like that, real change, real attention would come out of it. So his mind was in the right place in terms of trying to get the movement to the next level. However, the people themselves weren't mentally prepared to go through something like that.
Got it.
He passed away almost 2 years ago in an ATV accident and a freak accident, and he loved all you guys, and he came from 2013 to 2017. He came home in 2018 to see me, thank goodness, because that was the last time I'd seen him alive.
Michael Pendleton, when the Million Mass March was formed, he decided he was going to walk from Florida to here. Justin King worked for CNN. Justin King broke ranks, him and his wife, on their vlog. He started reporting Michael's walk. We got huge media attention because of Michael. Lots of mainstream media, alternative media, interviewed Michael the whole way here. We had 7 million people worldwide. Michael was the reason for we had that.
We can maximize on this moment, we can maximize on this day. We need to start getting in close with each other even more than what we already are. Be tight, be the family that we all talk about. Oh, unity, oh, family, my brother, my sister, okay, act it, be it, and show it. I appreciate you guys for letting me fucking vent the fuck out of there, alright? Because that was just pent up, alright? Thank you guys. You guys already know what's up, alright? All from the heart, I love you guys, alright? Straight the fuck up. I want everybody to put their fists up in the air. Right now, everybody. And on the count of 3. I want you to say never forget. Never forget on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Never forget.
it's too hard. Never forget who you are. Never forget who you are. Never forget who you are. And just remember how far we've come to get where we are. Never forget who you are. Never forget who you are. And just remember how far we've come to get where we are. Never forget who you are. Never forget who you are. And just remember how far we've come to get where we are. Never forget who you are. Never forget who you are. And just remember how far we've come to get where we are.
Bullshit ass hype shit. This isn't some bullshit ass hype shit. This is real as fuck. Yeah.
Tell him, Steve.
Shut the fuck up. November 5th is every fucking day.
Every fucking day.
I love y'all. Respect. Let's go shut this shit down.
Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets?
To the Church of Scientology building.
They say death's around the corner. I heard that from the coroner. Or was it the reaper? Archangel teacher. We weep, but what's reaped isn't grim. Sow the seeds, what you seek is within. Cyclical, unfortunate with the moment. Just another drop in the ocean. Energy in motion is emotion. Sending peace to those in need. We all bleed, we all know this. We don't own it, nor control it. All it takes to show it is a smile and a laugh. Humanity, can't you see? Time, you never get back. I've met some real ones. Reminds me to feed when the meal comes. Reminds me that we can heal us. Reminds me to reach and feel love. It's never fair when it reaches you. You can't compare if you believe it's true. What's a pear without a tree? No need to fruit. The process is what makes a life. There's no measurement, just take your slice. Pain breaks the ice, while love remains alive. For us to only grow stronger, faith will take your side. Just wait a little longer, you've gotta pace the ride. I won't say the wrong words, there's no preparation guide. By the time the train arrived, you were already taking flight. Just passing through the wind. Say goodnight. Until we meet again, I'll see you in the rays of light. Taylor about the fucking flex. Yo, I'ma let you tell it. Yeah. I'ma just sit back. Yeah. Oh, you think you ill? You think you dope? You think you can rap? Huh? Where the fuck you from in Jersey? Be specific, I need the facts. Got ties everywhere that you see me at. Tell me, where did you see me at? They want the flex and I got it, but I know if I go too hard then I might get killed. Rational thinking goes right out the window along with my feelings and all of my chill. I've been thinking about going independent, writing myself up a deal. It might not be worth $1, you start where you gotta. I don't give a fuck how you feel. They want that dope, want OD, 856, get your dope from me. I was in a band on me and Reem while you was at school trying out for the team. They gon' all respect my flex, and yes, I know that shit's a fact. I done did way too much taking, now it's time for giving back. I'm at Karma, that's my bitch, now I'm gon' hit it from the back. I gotta do this for the bros that's looking down, no looking back. I got this 40, I'll take it down. I got this loud, I'ma light that up. And I can steal your fucking flow and do it better, boy, what's up? Time passing like the blunt, or the smoke passing right through my lungs. Ashes fall into the ashtray, I feel like I'm falling up. I like to keep my phone on silent, I'm not the one to be calling up. And don't come around me with that bullshit, cause I'm the one for calling bluffs. But I'ma let you tell it. Yeah. I'ma just sit back. What else? Oh, you think you ill? You think you dope? You think you can rap? Huh? Where the fuck you from in Jersey? Be specific, I need the facts. Got ties everywhere you see me at. Tell me, where did you see me at? Taj back in that cell, wish I could've talked him up off of the block. But as long as he saw them dollars coming in fast, he just couldn't stop. I wasn't mad at him for a second, that was my brother, I was
was just worried, especially after watching my brother Jimmy D's getting buried. Life took off in a hurry, now it's time to focus in on the blurriest. I know that sinking feeling, but I can't relate to being buried yet. I rap with a pen and padlock, safe, building my cash stock, fate, not to be stuck in a place surrounded by these have-nots. I like that I can't relate, I need different food on my plate. I want a vibe that you can't describe, I want a tune that you couldn't play. I want Henny, I want Douce, I want marijuana by the bouquet. I wanna take this 8th shrooms and see the universe by today. Hey, hey, what can I say? Shit was too hard for me to ignore. I needed space, I went to space by myself, and it was so pure. Energy shifted as things got heavily twisted. I'm home but won't answer the door. I got questions I won't get answers for, like did I smoke or ate them more? I'ma let you tell it, I'ma hit this gas, I'ma get real lit, I'ma face this shit in your face and make it last. Everything that I do is Jersey, born and raised with the snakes in the grass. Running your garden, take what you have, could've been the bro, but the face was masked. These are the facts that we face every day to keep us on point. We live and die, but I can't live and die if my life was not enjoyed. I'm sick of living like I'm insane. Shit gets more expensive, but my income doesn't change. Somewhere there's a bullet with my name on it. I wanna put all of my pain on it, put all of my shame on it, put it to the stress and the depression in my head and then bang on it. Instead I took my name off it, decided to put some change on it, shot it into the storm and hope one day some light would rain on it. Why am I in this nightmare? No, I know why I live my life here. On my first mixtape cover I rocked the Jesus Peace and Nike Airs. Now I am God, 3 eyes, blunt lit in the night air. I just wanna live forever through every rhyme that I write here, but I'ma let you tell it, I'ma just sit back. Oh, you think you ill, you think you dope, you think you can rap? Where the fuck you from in Jersey? Be specific, I need the facts. Got ties everywhere that you see me at. Tell me, where did you see me at, huh?